Hey, we're live. Welcome, everybody. Advocates for Justice Paralegal School. We provide the tools, you do the work. I'm Coach Neighbors, and tonight we're going to update my sister's foreclosure case that was terminated by the judge that my sister sued. And then the attorneys got a sale order. And, well, I don't want to hold you in suspense. We stopped the sale, we blocked the sale order. So she's still in her house and her house didn't sell. So they have a little problem with that. But we're going to talk about what they tried to do and how we're spanking them right now. So you guys will be able to use this stuff in your situation. So welcome to the show. I'm Coach Neighbors and I love my job. So we had a few new people join our online course this week. I think we had 2 people last week and 2 people this week. I would like to get to where we have 5 or 6 a day, but I'll be happy with 2 a week for now. And I think the people are pretty ecstatic about the opportunity they have to fight. And that's my guarantee. My guarantee is you'll have opportunity to fight. And you're going to do some punching some people in the face too, because that's what we do around here. So welcome to the show tonight. And we're just going to get started. Oh, yeah, we're just going to get started. Things we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to talk about what they're doing, how they got the sale order, and what we're doing about that. We were not provided opportunity to oppose the sale order. So that's interesting. And it didn't seem like anybody cares about that. So, but I just want to throw it out there because I know you guys care. I'm also going to share the docket sheet and the judge's order. And then you guys will get to decide if the order was helping the attorneys or not. Yeah, and then we'll also going to talk about what, you guys who know me know we didn't follow the order. So, yeah, they wanted us to stop filing pleadings in the case because the federal court was not sure if they had jurisdiction. Well, wait a minute. We sued the state court judge, and everything that they're trying to do with the name of the state court judge that got sued and terminated the case. And I done a little homework on, because I never heard of something being terminated in court. So I done a little homework on that. And when the case is terminated, that means that it's done. And it's a final judgment. And in order to bring a case back on final judgment, you have to ask for a leave of court, or you can challenge the court's jurisdiction. That is always a way to reopen the case, whatever. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to lie in your face. But according to the common law strategies, you can do that. So we didn't have a chance to object to anything they did. They never served us. And we're going to review some of the changes that we're going to be making in our program, mainly moving the case moving their foreclosure case over to federal court. That was really powerful. It let all the air right out of their tires. And finally, I'm going to review the new notice of removal lawsuit package. I think I might call it my sister's package. My sister's getting a lot of stuff named after her situation, because the stuff that some of you guys are using right now are the stuff that I put together for my sister. So you know that if I put it together for my sister, it's going to be bringing the fire to the table, because we don't play. Hey, Gladstone and his wife are new to the group. You guys welcome them. Welcome. Look like you guys are here, only one here right now. I don't know. Maybe there's some other people sneak watching us. But welcome to the group, guys. And I hope you're enjoying the online course. Gladstone Financial Services enrolled in the online course, and they're going to make some things happen. Yep. Hello. And yes, we are. Great. Marla, great. Marley, you went and done that little thing and gave them permission to use your name. Outstanding. It's nice to know who we're talking. Welcome to the show tonight. So let's just move along because we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So we're just going to move right along. And the things that you guys are learning here, as always, you will be able to use in your situation right now, today. And you guys have to remember, I get this all the time. People want me to listen to all this stuff that happened back in 1966. Okay, I don't need to hear all of that stuff because we don't use any of it. In this program, you're going to learn how to control the situation by controlling the court process, by controlling their processes. Yeah, with the loopholes that they don't want people to know. Facebook user, if you go to the link scrolling across the bottom of the screen and give them permission to show your name if you want your name to be shown, Facebook user, yes, then we'll get to know who we're talking to. Otherwise, you just show us Facebook user, and we like to see your name. We don't have to see your face, but it's nice to see your name because then it lets me know who showed up for practice today. Welcome. So let's just get rolling here. I'm going to review the notice of removal lawsuit packets in the end of all of this and just open it up real quick. It doesn't have near as many documents as the non-judicial foreclosure lawsuit package. I think it has like 27 documents. This package that we put together is a little bit different. We're using a different strategy. The main strategy we're using in this new package is we're going to move their foreclosure case over to federal court. And then, like in our case, you'll see how this works for us. Welcome, Rose. Rose is here. Welcome to the program tonight, Rose. We are glad to have you. Rose has been in our group for quite a while, and she's a singer, and she's out of Texas. Yeah, I know some. I've been spying on some of you guys. No, I know who my friends are, and my friends are the people that come tonight and say, "Hey, leave me comments and stuff." So that's cool. I know who the friends are. I have a lot of friends. They don't work in attorney's office or the government, but I don't need those friends anyway. So. Before we get started on all the good stuff, I want to take a minute to ask you guys to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, you should subscribe and make sure you click the bell so you get notifications when it's time to rock and roll. You'll also get notifications when I upload videos and do things. So you will get notifications when it's about to go down if you click the bell. Hit the like button. You should always hit the like button if you respect what we're doing here. That lets the YouTube algorithm know that I'm bringing fire to the table, and it helps them show my stuff more. And leave a comment. Leave a comment. Even if I don't agree with you, you can leave your comment. Leave a comment and let people know what you think. Because a lot of people look at those comments and see what people have to say. I remember when I first started doing this, I went out and I got some ties and shirts, and I was looking all nice. And then I saw this other guy that had this fancy green suit, and he had the big old giant rings and a watch that was like that big. And so I was reading his comments, and people were like, "Dude, you got all this bling bling. You know, how you gonna help us? We can't, pay attention when we." Yeah, but I like just being myself. So this is me. I'm not the tie, whatever. I'm not that guy. I can be for a short period of time, but just don't call me an attorney. That'd be bad. So you guys leave a comment and share my videos. Share them. Just stick them out there so people can see them. A lot of times, people facing these problems that we help you take care of, or we help you learn how to take care of around here. People are embarrassed to admit it, and they don't really want people to know. And I have a lot of people in the group that sign up with a different name because they are and that's fine. But if you do that, you need to let me know who you are, what your real name is, because I check everybody before I let anybody in the group. So, and you probably noticed that if you forgot to tell me, and I kept deleting your. Oh well, you guys see, I say what I do and do what I say. So you guys make sure you're watching the videos. And so I'll give you guys a quick update on my sister's situation. She had this judicial foreclosure. It lasted about a year and a few months before the judge got involved. And then when the judge got involved, obviously we spanked him. We spanked her. Somebody spanked her. I didn't spank her. My sister did this. Okay, never mind. Let me stay focused. And as soon as the judge came out to help them, we sued the judge, and the case was turned. We not only sued the judge, my sister sued the attorney and his wife because we claimed their property as damages, and her name's on the property, so we had to serve her. And my sister also sued the State Bar Association for the state of Kansas, and the case was terminated. And then my sister decided that she was going to give them a pass, which was against my better judgment for those of you who know me, but it was her call, and I had accomplished the goal of stopping the foreclosure. I didn't get to stomp them out, but we did stop the foreclosure. And then they came back 9 months later with this fake sale order they got some kind of way. It wasn't on Docket Sheet, and it was by the same judge that was named in the lawsuit. And the sheriff was going to sell her house on the 18th of this month. So we got to work. We got busy. We tried to get a copy of the sale order or the documentation for authorizing the sale from the sheriff department, and they refused to give it to us. And they was acting really crappy about it. So that was fine. And we just decided to do what we do. We figured out a way. And what we did was we moved their foreclosure case over to federal court. We just moved it. Gladstone's slow down, man. Slow down. No, we haven't got the deed back yet, but so I teach you guys to have a verbal harassment campaign against the attorneys. And in her verbal harassment campaign, we have addressed the fact that we can make this go away if they deliver her original property deed to her as mandated by the state property law transfer laws, and remove all of the information, her property information, from their database. And well, there's going to be some money thing here. She's coming in with 20 million. She dropped it last time when she had it at 5 million, and they really pissed my sister off now. Okay, so she's really pissed off now. So there's no dropping of nothing right now. I don't know what she's going to do, but I'm going to make sure that she requests legal fees in the same amount they were going to jam her up with for my help. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. But I'm pretty sure she's not taking the money off the table. Tienes mula a la mesa. She has money on the table. Dinero a la mesa. Yeah, and she's not happy about what they're doing. All the stuff they're doing is fraud. They just and the attorney had the nerve to say that we were unlawfully blocking the judge's order or whatever. I mean, are you kidding me right now? So they're not used to people fighting tooth and nail. They're used to people going and sitting down and packing their stuff. Well, we're not packing stuff, at least not yet. Okay, we ain't packing nothing yet. And now she's no, she hasn't got her deed back yet, Gladstone. We're not to that point. We're right now we're in federal court, and they're struggling just a bit. So we're going to get to where we're at here. So after we moved her case over to federal court, we moved it using the rules, not the statute. And this is what the judge came in, oh, well, the statute had these restrictions. Well, number one, if you challenge jurisdiction, if you sue a state court judge, then you should be able to move a lickety split because no other state court judges can hear it without a conflict of interest. So we don't even want to go there. But what in my program, what we do is we move it after we sue the judge. And that just makes it easy. And we use the stinking rules, the court rules, that don't have all the restrictions. The statute's not a valid law anyway because it doesn't have an enacting clause, it doesn't have title, and doesn't have a body. It does not have the three things that the state constitution mandates must be present for it to be a valid law. So get out here with the statute crap. And that's what the judges, that's all they got. I'm like, if that's all they got, this is going to be a cakewalk. But, I don't go into battle with the stick. We're going to take a bunch of sticks. So we're stacking it up on them. So the problem that they have now, the main problem that they have now is when my sister refiled her lawsuit, except she upped it to $20 million instead of $5 million, and she refiled it. She reserved them. She repaid. She redid everything. And they ignored it. So after we moved their case over to federal court, it had been 65 days since she filed her lawsuit and they hadn't answered her. So we just moved her lawsuit over to federal court. And then we filed for a summary judgment. And we told them we were going to move their lawsuit over to federal court. And they laughed at us. We didn't tell them we're going to move the lawsuit also, our lawsuit, and file for summary judgment. So we filed for summary judgment and we provided a copy of the docket sheet so the federal judge can see that no answer had been given to date. And so the judge ordered them to respond to the summary judgment by the 2nd. But he also ordered us to stop filing in the case. Well, we ain't having that. So I'm going to show you guys a screen share and just let you see what they're trying to do, what they're trying to make us do. But before we get to that, we're going to take a look at the docket sheet first. And I'm going to show you guys what the docket sheet looks like. Okay. So, oops. Let me make it big. This is a copy of the docket sheet in my sister's case in federal court. Now, here's the thing. My sister paid. I didn't want her to pay. I didn't make a big deal about it, but she paid because obviously they were giving her a hard time because they're not used to doing things the way they're supposed to be doing. They're not used to doing things the way they're supposed to be doing them. They're not used to doing things the way I show you how to get things done. So, and she was stressing and she did not want to, drag her feet or whatever. So she just went ahead and paid, which is fine. But she paid, and now they still have her showing as the defendant. But this is what her notice of removal. Then she filed a civil cover sheet, and then she paid, which is ridiculous. She should not have had to pay. And if we had to pay, my game plan was to file the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit that I put together specifically for a foreclosure defense and shove that in their face, which we're going to do. And just so you know, we're going to stick that in their face because they want to whine that they don't have jurisdiction. Well, we'll just file something else so that you can have federal jurisdiction and there's no question over it. And we can file a whole bunch of stuff. We told them in the objection, we're not going away. So y'all can stop playing because we're not going away. She paid the filing fee, and then it was assigned to the. Now, I suggest that you get yourself a Pacer account so you can pull this up and take a look at this stuff when you get in federal court yourself, because you're going to have to check every single letter that's written on this document to make sure you ain't getting thrown under the bus. Because sometimes they'll file your stuff as an exhibit to something, so it's in the back, and they don't put the name on the front, so no one knows what it is. So you need to check all of this stuff, and we're going to look at a few things here, but nothing here is too bad. They're helping them a little tiny bit without. They're trying to help them without sticking their butt out in the wind. But they don't know their butts in the wind. Gladstone's asking a question here. Well, it's not. She shouldn't have to pay to submit her claim. She's moving their case over to federal court. They already paid to file a case in court. She moved their lawsuit, their foreclosure, over to federal court, and she shouldn't have had to pay. And she moved it because she's suing the state court judge. And you can do a change of venue and all of that, but I don't do stuff in their statute crap because they can control you. They can't control you if you're using the rules. And it's funny because in the judge's order, he ignores the fact that we use the rules in the top half, and he's trying to make it like she's made some mistake. And well, down in the bottom of his order, he mentioned the rules that he need us to. So the rules work fine when they're helping them kick our butt, but when we use them to kick their butt, it's a problem. So you see how that works for the judge. And so we went ahead and the other thing I wanted, the magistrate judge does not have jurisdiction to be involved in your case without consent from all parties. And if you don't believe me, you can Google a magistrate judge consent form in your state, and I'm sure you'll pull up the form that shows that you have to sign to give the magistrate judge consent to be involved in your case. And we're going to send them, as part of our harassment campaign, to the court clerk. We're going to send them an email letting them know that our legal team has informed us that the magistrate judge is a lesser judge and does not have consent to be involved in your case without, does not have authority to be involved in your case without consent from all parties. So we just want to, your goal is to cost them as much time and money as possible. And the reason they have the magistrate judge is just to do the dirty work for the real judge. Because when the magistrate judge throws your stuff out and violates your rights, they'll say, well, you agreed to it to have the lesser judge. So what are you complaining about? So we don't agree to it. So we can complain about it and do whatever we need to do about it. So you can see here what we filed. We filed a temporary restraining order and an injunction, and designation of trial. Then we filed some documents in support. When you file a restraining order, you have to file the documents to let them know that you're going to be injured. And in my sister's case, she filed a copy of the sale order that they were trying to get done. And the judge didn't grant the restraining order, and we jammed the judge up for it because it appeared the judge was helping them by not granting a restraining order when clearly she should have got it. But what we didn't know is that they had already canceled the sale. So yeah, they didn't tell us they canceled the sale. I wonder why they can't tell us they canceled the sale. It ain't like we ain't gonna find out anyway. I mean, come on now. But that's what it is. They didn't tell us that they canceled the sale. We had to figure that out on our own after we get done jamming up some people. So I'm fine with that because they need to be jammed up anyway. So the cool thing about this is that you'll see here that the attorney, the defendants, they're ordered to respond to our summary judgment motion by 12/2. So we never had before in state court anybody help anybody respond to tell anybody to do anything. So we're kind of cool about that. We're happy to see somebody order somebody to do something. So the next thing I want to show you guys is we're going to look at a copy of the judge's order and chop it up real good. Got a call coming in. Must be a rookie calling me now. But I will talk to the rookies later. So let's me find the other. Yeah, here we go. Now this is the judge's order. And you guys can decide if he's trying to help them or not. So so he goes over here more than 2 years after the case was filed and came on, and 2 years after the defendants, were served a copy of the petition, the defendants filed a notice of removal. They didn't. He left out that we sued the judge and got the case terminated and all of that. And the law firm used 9 attorneys, and the attorney that they're using now to sign in federal court is one of the attorneys that we defaulted already because they failed to respond to the jurisdictional challenge by counter affidavit. So he's saying they're planning to file a motion to remand. Oh, that they did with facially valid reasons that the court lacks subject matter jurisdiction. And we already know what their reasons are. Their reasons is because we didn't follow their statute, but we don't follow the statute. And we don't care about it because the statute is not going to help anybody. And we're going to see how judge. I haven't figured out what exactly we're going to do. We may move to recuse the federal judge and ask for the chief judge to step in because we're definitely going to be a pain in their butt. And it's funny here, he mentions a temporary restraining order and one dispositive motion. Well, I wonder why he didn't refer to it as a motion for summary judgment. And he's not clear if the court has jurisdiction in the matter. So he wants to suspend all, stay the pending filings until he decides, well, no, we're not going to do that. So we objected. You always want to object to the judge's order. Always. I don't care if you understand what you're supposed to object. You always want to object to the judge's order and make a big deal about it. Because, what they start, any tiny little thing that they're pulling, you need to make a big deal about it. Because what they start doing is kind of like the car salesman tells her, hey, I need you to fill this out. I need this form filled out. I need this filled out. Please fill these 2 out and sign right here. Yeah. So once they get you jumping through their hoops, you're done. So the last thing I want to show you guys actually 2 more things. This is the new package that I'm putting together. Now I'm going to add the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit to this package because I want to make sure that you have something that you can file without question, and federal court has jurisdiction since they want to try and be stupid. So I'm going to add that to this package. So it comes with the notice removal. Let it open up here. There we go. And this is just, I'm just going to show you guys what the front page of it looks like. Now, you can make your own. You have a notice of removal in your packet if you bought a lawsuit package that you can use. You just need to look up the statute for, or not the statute, excuse me. You need to look up the rule for moving the case, state case to federal court, and put that rule in your motion. And then these are just all of the reasons why there are conflicts of interest, the reasons why you're moving it, and that should work just fine. And we also have your inventory demand for this is really cool. Now, this is your lawsuit, a lawsuit. This is the one in the package, but I'm also adding the 42 USC 1983 one in the package because it's simple and tidy-whitey. It's wrapped up in a nice little bow. But this is pretty cool. Here you're going after them for damage in violation of Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, the Foreign Agent Registration Act of 1938, the Fair Debt Collection Act practice at 1692. And this claim is also against the State Bar Association and defendants' bar license. So you can add whatever you want in your lawsuit to sue them with. And this is in this package, new package that I'm making. And I'm also going to put the 42 USC 1983 package lawsuit in this package. And this is a really powerful document. This is a demand for sanctions that you can file, and it's like a mini lawsuit inside of a lawsuit. Demand for sanctions and $450,000. You can put whatever you want on there, and the agents bond and assets. And we filed this against the attorneys in my sister's case too. They were not happy, and my sister's been spanking them pretty good. And this you'd file against the attorney, or against the prosecutor if they drag you into a criminal situation. The stuff you should never limit yourself in my program. Now, this package is the Magistrate Judge Reconsideration package. I stuck it in here just for the hell of it. And it has everything that you would need if you were in a situation where someone had made a judgment against you, where the judge made a judgment against you. This has everything that you need to object, to demand reconsideration, to sue the judge, and to recuse the judge after you sue them, or recuse the judge and then sue them. It doesn't matter which way. But those are the steps that you do when a judge is in your face. You you object, demand reconsideration, open it back up. Objecting should open it up too, but also demanding reconsideration opens it back up so that there's a decision that still needs to be made. And then you take the judge out. That's pretty much how we do it. And when you take the judge out, it's like removing the motor off of their vessel while it's floating around in admiralty jurisdiction without a motor. And if you slick when you do this, you can stop the state court process while you're filing your federal case, or move it over there. And then I would file if it was me, I would file my case separate with a new case number and everything after you get them settled down over there, and make them come answer to you. That's how you do it. As long as you're playing in their case, you still have liability. Your pants are kind of down. You're still exposed. But when it's your case number and they have to come answer to you, that's the way you want to set this up. And now this document here has a lot. This file has now. Remember when you're working on this, if you have to open a zip file to look at the documents, then you need to watch the instructional video for that zip file. And the instructional video for that zip file will be in the instructional video playlist on my YouTube channel. So you go to the YouTube channel, you look for instructional video playlist, and then you look for the new Magic Judge Reconsideration package in the playlist. Click on that, and then that's the video to watch that you should watch. If you're new to this, the update to the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit is something that you must watch ASAP. And all of the videos in the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit, because that is what we're doing here. Everything that we're doing is based off of that jurisdiction challenge and lack thereof. Hey, consultant, welcome to the show tonight, buddy. Say, I have a question and maybe you can help me with. I'm wondering, can state attorneys practice in federal court, or do you have to have a different license to practice in federal court? I'm wondering that. I wouldn't ask anybody but you because I know nobody else is going to give me a straight answer. For some of you guys that are new, the consultant is an attorney, but he doesn't work on leech bag stuff. He does private remedies and things like that. And he's been part of our group for a while. So that's they have to be admitted to the federal bar. Oh, nice. Because I got a couple state attorneys trying to help my sister in federal court. We're spanking them pretty good. Yeah, but I like to nip it in the bud at the gate. So they have to be admitted to the federal bar. That's nice to know. So now you guys will know that when you drag their happy butts over to federal court and the same attorneys are trying to represent themselves, more likely than not, they're not from the federal bar. I would challenge it anyway and make them prove that they are, because they're lying anytime their mouth opens up. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. So I'm going to open this up so you can see what you get in this one here. There's quite a few documents in. Oops, it's not letting me open it up. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not letting me open it up, but we'll do it a different way. Here we go. Now we're opening up. So these are all the documents you get in that. I'm not going to open them all up and go over them. But you see, you get your notice of rejection, the manager's. This is the consent form to show you what it looks like. The inventory, notice of recusal, if you want to recuse the judge, and then notice of appeal template that you can use to buy time. I don't really believe in no appeal. I only do that stuff to mess with them. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you is a copy of our. I want to show you guys what the website looks like, that page that I'm building for this new package. This is what it looks like. And I got a ways to go on it. I'm just getting started on it. But I do have the file connected to the bottom of it, so it's the checkout is all set up. If anybody's interested in it, they can just do the checkout. But you can see here how to move the state case. This is all the stuff that we're using in my sister's situation is going to be in this package. And I still have a lot of work to do. I haven't got any of this stuff down here done yet. But I'm hoping to have this finished by the middle of next week, maybe over the weekend. And this package is probably going to be the same price as the other package. The property tax package is going to be, this package is going to be about $600. And it's going to have everything you need to move your case straight over to federal court and give these people a hard time. Consultant says, here's the funny part: the state attorneys or attorney generals who in federal court are representing the judge will never file a notice of appearance. Huh. Well, we're about to attack them for that too, because this dude didn't file a notice of appearance either. So, but right now we're just gonna let them see what they want to do about the summary judgment. And since they having a hard time accepting jurisdiction in federal court, since we're suing a state court judge, then we're just going to file our 42 USC 1983 lawsuit. Maybe. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, they never appeared. Nice. Thanks, consultant. We really appreciate it. Hey, Edith. There is a direct link, Edith. It's up in the very top of this feed, and I usually leave one at the bottom of the feed. And you got to start learning how to get over to the YouTube channel anyway. So, yeah, I know some people hate me when I tell them my job is not to make it easy for you, but to help you learn. There's a link to that document at the top of this feed, and I'll leave one in the end, maybe, if I don't forget. Now, the federal judge is acting like the court don't have jurisdiction, and we're just going to let him, see how. I think we might just like hold off and see. We know they stopped the sale, so if somebody called down there and told somebody something to stop the sale, and so that's we know that we're making a difference. But right now, we're going to make sure that we get the federal judge to terminate this stuff or dismiss with prejudice or do something so they can't keep coming back getting up in our face. And that docket sheet that we showed showing the federal judge is giving them a date to respond to our stuff is pretty powerful. And it's pretty powerful just moving their case over to federal court and making them come and answer to you. So that's pretty powerful. And it was real easy to do, especially if you filed your lawsuit against the judge in state court. And like I said, my sister went ahead and paid, and she's happy with that, and I'm happy too. We got them all messed up. She paid, so she should be the plaintiff, but they still have them as a plaintiff, so she paid to move their state foreclosure over there. We got the whole system jacked up, and that's what you have to do. People get so worried about winning and having the judge rule in your favor. The judge is not going to rule for you. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. Judge is not going to rule for you. If the judge is still sitting in place to rule for you, you messed up along the way because you're supposed to take them out. Yeah, as soon as they start helping. Oh, perfect, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And there you go. I finally learned how to run this stuff a little bit, huh? I'm gonna spend 10 minutes trying to find the setting. But we're here, we're up, we're rolling, and we got some people sweating. And the funny thing is, my sister moved her case over to federal court using the court rules, and he didn't mention anything about that. Now we're thinking about moving, doing the 1983 civil rights lawsuit on them, and just to, you know, to make sure that they don't get off from underneath this, foot that we got on their neck. Now you can use a state court docket sheet to show that the judge took jurisdiction out of legal authority. That's what, all day long. That's it. People start talking to me, and after they get rolling, they start talking about this other crap, the lies that they said and the servicer and all of that. And when you start down that road, the judge is going to assume that you had a contract and move forward because you're arguing the wrong stuff. Nice. Yeah, they have a hard time. We have a jurisdictional challenge um, with an affidavit, and they having a real hard time responding to that. Okay. Yeah, if you can email that over to me, man, that'd be perfect. And then I'll figure out some kind of way to make that work. Because I tell you what, we bring fire to the table all the time, and we're constantly growing and changing as we learn. Now once you file this, you will have them back in the corner. You'll have them hemmed in the corner pretty good. And the judge is going to tell you to stop filing stuff and to do, and the only time I stop doing things if I'm looking like we getting handled is if they haul me out to jail. But don't tell them I said because they did once, and I learned. And they don't want to mess with me. They don't want to mess with me now. I don't know why. This new notice of removal will help you move their case straight over to federal court, so the attorney can be ordered to respond in certain days. Yeah, we not used to that. We are not used to that. Edie says she's on her third judge now, and now moving to federal court. You go, girl. Yeah, I told Edith one day when she joined and the program and just started, I remember telling her, like I tell most of you, I'm going to teach you. You're going to learn how to have some fun. And so one day she called me up and she's laughing. Coach Neighbors, I'm having so much fun. Yeah, it makes my heart warm to know that what I'm doing is helping somebody stay in their house. It's helping the family stay in their house. Okay, I'm just going to throw it right down the table. It makes my heart warm to know somebody's punching an attorney in the face. So there you go. I said it. Now, when you do things this way, you're leaving them a very, very small window to escape to liability. And what you want to do is you want to force them to visualize the shared liability. And you do that by staying in the ring, keep punching while you're getting your evidence on the court record that you need to stick in their face. And I can tell you right now, when you're going to file this stuff, and when you try to do these things that you're learning how to do here in federal court, they're not going to be happy. They convinced my sister that she needed to file her case in the Kansas City court that was 56 miles away, one way, instead of 22 miles. one way. And they did that crap to her because they did not want this in their court. And no, I was not. We ain't having that. So we whipped out another notice of removal, and we removed. Well, she tried to have him move it over, and they started talking a bunch of crap and telling her how the judge needed to make good and all. They're like, no, the judge has no call on administrative stuff. Are you kidding me? The clerk's the one doing that crap. But here's the thing: the court in Kansas City is where they dragged me and my family through when they harassed us. So I know those players, and I know the crap that they get away with over there. And one of the judges, Judge McGeer, had to resign. And the prosecutor got moved over because they was doing all this shady stuff. Yeah. So I put some of those things in the notice of removal and sent it over to them. And we ain't staying over there because they're dirty over there. We want to be over here with y'all dirty asses. Okay, sorry. I got carried away. So here's the thing. There's always a stinking thing. Just because you're the plaintiff don't mean that you can't get in the judge's face if they ain't doing the right stuff. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Everybody thinks if you're the plaintiff, you can't do nothing. No, you can be a big pain in their butt. At the end of the day, if they're going to throw you under the bus and violate you, you might as well sue them. It don't matter who you sue, as long as somebody's getting paid for what they're doing to you. That's how we do that. And there's a link to my non-judicial foreclosure lawsuit package. Edith said, yeah, she's having fun. Man, I get people all the time who want to know how many wins and how many of this and how many of that. And the first thing I tell them is, you can figure that out, Edith. You got to figure that out yourself. I didn't know which federal judge. Now, we use the court that's closer to us. We're not going to drive 56 miles and we have to go to court just because they're trying to stick our stuff over here because they don't want us. And they're trying to play hot potato, but we already know that's what the game is. So we ain't having it. So punching the attorneys, punching the federal court in the face when they even think about helping the attorneys is what you need to do. You need to step up. Anytime they're throwing you under the bus in court, you need to step up and address it ASAP, because it starts out with the little things. Next thing you know, they're kicking your butt out the door. They push and push and push and see what they can get away with to control you, and then they're pushing you out the door. And as far as the judge, I about cracked up when I saw the judge ordering us not to file any more documents. I'm like, anybody that follows that, newsflash, I'm going to give you a free tip. Do the opposite of what the judge says, okay? Because the judge is not trying to help you. Oh. So I just want you guys to remember, after we filed our objection and demand for reconsideration, a few hours later, after confirmation that the objection was posted, my sister filed a notice of appeal of the judge's order. We were appealing the judge denying the restraining order and ordering us to stop filing stuff. Now, one of my friends used to always tell me, oh, you can't do that because that's not following. I'm like, yeah, we can do whatever we want. In this case, I don't know if it was an appealable order or not. I don't care. Once you file for a notice of appeal, they have to send your stuff over there, and then they have to send it back, and it's just a pain in their butt. So I want them to see the judge being stupid and telling us to stop filing stuff and acting like they don't have jurisdiction when we sued the state court judge and all that. So we're just sticking that stuff in the higher court's face and this is like jabbing them back, because the judge should have a chance to respond before we file an appeal. to reply to our response before he filed an appeal, but we didn't wait for that. So two can get dirty up in here. We can play dirty too, but we don't play outside the law. So there you go. We'll be dirty as hell in the rules, but we don't play outside the law, because you know how far that would go. They can do it, but they be coming to get us. So now when I do this crazy stuff like file an appeal on some small thing, my friend just laughs, because she knows now that we just messing with them, just like they've been doing us. We just messing with them. We want them to visualize their shared liability. And we want them to know that we're willing to do whatever it takes to make them stand down. So one of the new things I'm working on a new package, and I think I mentioned this a while back, where people can attack the mortgage fraud, the folks who are not in default can attack the mortgage fraud to get their deed back. Now, one of the things, Gladstone, I wanted to mention, since you're asking your questions, and I know why, because we already talked a little bit. What we've done in our verbal harassment campaign is we let the attorneys know that this can go away as soon as her deed's delivered. You don't generally have to have the eliminated lawsuit property tax package to get your deed back. If you get yourself in position doing this to make them do whatever the hell you want, then you need to make them give you back your deed to your property, because there's no law that mandates that you have to register your deed in their property. There's no law that says you have to do that. And if there was a statute, it wouldn't be a valid law. And once you register your deed, it starts all of the crap that's most people don't realize that the very first illegal lien that was placed against your property was the mortgage lien. If there were several parties who owned property before they could sign that mortgage, they were all had to be present to sign the mortgage lien. So the fact that the lender accepted your signature on the mortgage lien proves that you own the property. I know. I throw that in their face, the attorney's face, when they're giving me a bunch of crap all the time. And it shuts them up pretty quick. It shuts them up pretty quick, because they don't have an answer for that. They don't know what to tell you. Now here is a new link to the new package that I'm making, and I'm going to add the civil rights lawsuit to this package, so it actually has 2 lawsuits in it. Actually 3, because it has the sanction motion in there too, and the sanction motion is pretty badass. So that's all I got to say on that. So I hope you guys learned something here tonight. What we're doing, we're going to have in the removal playlist on my YouTube channel, I'm going to have all the videos that I make updates on my sister's case. I'll have live streams too, but some of this I'm going to put in videos so people can. It's so shorter, and people can actually watch it. It's a lot shorter and more precise. And I want people to be able to follow along so that they can see what we're doing and see, that it's working. So that's all I have the value to share with you guys now. I appreciate the opportunity to share your time tonight. And you guys should go to the website and get that package if you need it. And if you're in foreclosure, I have other packages that are less expensive that you can use to get things under control. So there's no reason why no one should be suffering without punching somebody in the face. Attorneys in the face or kick them. Okay, never mind. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Actually, I'll have a video that we're going to post tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow or the next day.